Okay, this week it's time to do the review of Iron Curtain, which I just finished up a couple days ago. So, Iron Curtain is pretty much like a follow-up to the All-American Muscle program, which is a 4-month long program. I have another review of that in one of my previous videos, so go check that one out. So this is kind of like, in a sense, an extension of that, but you don't necessarily need to do like them back-to-back as like showcasing like me, and then I did All American Muscle. I went to Norris Fitness's Berserker training, then I did this. But they do actually complement each other. So it's with the Iron Curtain, like I said, it's a good like segue from All American Muscle, like pretty much East versus East meets West type of deal. So this one is like based on like the old Soviet style training, and so like you have 4 workouts per week, and so it's a month long. So you basically have 16 workouts through the whole course. And now there is a lot of math and more math involved than typical in this one, in the sense that you need to find like your 1 rep max and everything. For instance, like your 1 rep max might be like a 400-pound squats, like a 350-pound deadlift, and like a 200-pound bench press and everything. So then what you do is like you're going to be doing 5 or 6 sets and everything at a certain percentage and everything. So like for instance, like you start off with doing like a push press. So like what you do is like you press, and then you'll do like in a sense like a small squat, and then press again as like a push, or like a that's like a push press. Like you kind of do like maybe like a quarter squat and then press up and everything. So you do percentages like 65, like you start off with like 1 2 like 3 sets of that. So like what you do is like maybe like 65 70 75% or whatever. And you also do like a barbell row and a dead row. So you do like your typical row, and then like you put it down on the ground and then do a dead row. And it's like the same kind of concept with that. Like you do 1 and 1, like so many percentages, like 65 70 75%, like and percentages goes up, and those percentages are based on your 1 rep max and everything. So like uh, in the portal and everything, like they do have like a 1 rep max calculator that you can be able to do that. So you can, in a sense, like the 400-pound squat that I mentioned, like what you can do is with that 1 rep max calculator, you can put in the 400 pounds, and it calculates it down up to like a 80%, down to 80% and everything. Of course, like using that, I kind of had to think and be like, okay, well I'm starting off at like a 60%, so I have to like it goes down from 90 to 80%. It goes down 10 pounds. Okay, so now I have to like calculate out like, okay, so I'm going down like another 20%, so I go down like another 20 pounds. So you kind of have to calculate things out like that. So that was like in a sense, like the biggest reason why I've been kind of like hesitant to do it for like the past like a couple of years, because like, oh man, there's more fucking math to do. It's like, I'll just do it later and everything. So, but like those are the first 2 exercises: the push press, the barbell row, the dead row. You do back squats, and then you do like barbell high pulls, like pretty much get like your upper back, and then you finish it off with the barbell curls. Then you move into like for the second workout, you do barbell bench press, hang cleans, alternate reverse barbell lunges, and then like a line dumbbell triceps extension. So in a sense, like with your arms, you're flip flopping between biceps and triceps, and then you're kind of in essence switching from like a vertical push to like a vertical horizontal push, and like and that same kind of deal like with the backs, like uh, as you can see, like with first one you do back squats, and then the second one you do alternate reverse and barbell lunges. So you're in a sense doing legs like 4 times a week, but you're only doing like in a sense like 4 or 5 sets per day and everything. So the idea of that is like to stimulate your your muscles like every more often than your traditional like push pull legs split, where you're doing legs only twice a week. Your third workout is the overhand press and the push press that I mentioned. Like the push press is, like I said, the quarter squat. Then you put it like push it up. The third one, you do the overhand press. You do 1, and then you do the quarter squat, and then the push press type of deal. And like the whole workout is the same kind of concept with like the percentages. you do like uh, like for this one you do like 2 overhand presses, and then you do 1 push press at say like a 65%, and then each subsequent set you go up by like 5% or so. So with that, and that's like the whole concept with all the exercises. So then you do like the barbell RDL, you do front squats, high pulls again, and then you do weighted chin-ups for the third workout. For your fourth workout, you go back to the barbell bench press, hang clean, back squats, barbell high press, and JM press. And of course, with like your arm work, those last exercises like the weighted chin up, the JM press, like the barbell curl, like the tricep extensions, those are the only ones that aren't, in a sense, percentage based. Like you're doing like in a sense going back to traditional like 3 sets of 10 to like a form failure. So that's the like those last ones that you're doing arm work. In essence, you're doing the traditional 3 by whatever, and this one is 3 by 8 reps, 8 to 10 reps and everything for like a form failure. So you want to like fail in the 8 to 10 range and everything for those exercises. So the way it works with the layout of those like 4 workouts, and now they do alternate. Like you have like like 1A, 1B, you know, a 2A, 2B, and then like you go through like in a sense each week it's like rotating like different types, like the same kind of exercises. They just kind of mix them up and everything, keeping with the same concept, the percentages and everything. So it's 2 days, like 2 days on, a day off, 2 days on, and 2 days off. So for instance, if you were to like in essence start on like a Sunday, you'd be lifting on Sunday, Monday, you'd get Tuesday off, and then you'd lift Wednesday, Thursday, and then you get Friday, Saturday off. So that's the kind of like the cycle of this and everything. So of course me like kind of prepping for the AX Live event and being used to being active, working out 5-6 days a week. I added in some extra cardio on that like a day in between the lifting sessions and everything to kind of add extra like extra and everything. So, but as it's written, you just got those 4 workouts, like 2 workouts a day off, and then 2 more workouts, then 2 days off, and you do that for the whole month. And then of course each subsequent week your percentages are like going up and everything. So like for instance, weeks 1 and 2 you might start off at like 65%, or then like the weeks 3 and 4 you might start off at like 70%, and then like pretty much at the end, you know, like the last sets and everything, you might start off like with the last set like maybe 80-85%. By the last week, what you're doing is like for that last set, for some of them, it's like 92.5% and everything. So you're increasing, in a sense, you're increasing like your percentages. So you're increasing the weight, but you're keeping like the reps kind of like the same. So like for instance, like the push press and like everything, you do 2 overhand press, you do 2, and then like the push press you do 1. 3 and 4 weeks 3 and 4 you might do just 1 and 1 and everything. So that's the whole concept of like the Iron Curtain. It's like a lot more math involved because you're finding out all these percentages and everything. So like you have to kind of like sit there like either like with me using like the notebooks, like using pen and paper. And so like this whole notebook is like all workouts I've done over like the last several years and everything. So, and it's like I'm getting kind of close to the end, so I might have to find like another notebook. And of course, as you can tell, it's kind of beat up and everything. But you can use an app and everything to be able to put them in and everything. So like you kind of like some of these exercises might not necessarily be in the app, so you would have to, in a sense, maybe create that exercise. And so the rest periods between these are usually like 90 seconds to 2 minutes and everything. So the idea of this is to kind of like build strength. So with the rest periods, usually like the shorter the rest period, the more apt you're going to be gearing towards like muscle endurance, and the longer the rest period, you're going to more likely gear towards muscle strength and everything. So for instance, if you're doing 30 seconds to 45 seconds rest in between each set, you're doing more like muscular endurance. If you're doing like a minute to 2 minutes, you're gearing more towards muscle strength. So that's why like this one is geared towards muscle strength and everything. hence the 90 seconds to 2 minutes rest in between each set and everything. So this is the kind of concept of like the Iron Curtain. Uh, 4 or 5, maybe 6 sets based on percentages, and each subsequent set the percentage goes up. So like for instance, like some of the numbers that I've written down, like for like bench press, like you might like start off like with the first set with 3 reps at like 145 pounds. Next set they go up 3 reps, 155 pounds. Third set 3 reps, 160. Fourth rep 3 sets at 165. Fifth set 3 reps at 170. The last last set 2 reps at 175. So as you can see, like you're kind of keeping like a lower rep count, but your weight is going up each subsequent set and everything. So that's like kind of like where those percentages come into play. So this is pretty much the good old Iron Curtain review. So it's, like I said, kind of like an extension of All American Muscle, that you can do All American Muscle, then this, and you have 5 months worth of training all figured out. Or you could do something like I did. I did All American Muscle. I'm like, well, I want to try out this Norse Fitness Berserker training. I went to that, and I do have a review of that as well, if you want to check out the previous video. And then I got into this and everything. Now, you could do it backwards and do this and then ramp yourself into All American Muscle. Or you could do like AX1, AX2, this one, and then maybe do Monster Maker, Beast Program, then do All American Muscle. So like there's no real set order to how to do it, but like I said, this one is kind of like a ramping from All American Muscle, and so like you can do they work great in tandem. And like I said, you have a great way of doing 5 months of training right there with All American Muscle and this one.